So this is the first year that we've come as a speaker or vendor exhibiting stuff. I've been to this convention a bunch of times, just really as a person coming and looking and buying parts and stuff, and I was invited to speak and give a few workshops, so that was exciting. And then I thought, okay, great, I'll drive the Jeep down and hang out for a few days. And then I was contacted and they said, hey, you know, we have a little bit of vendor space available if you're interested in bringing some tractors. And I said, well, that sounds pretty good. I'll park the Jeep and bring the semi instead. So we brought 3 tractors down, and so far it's been a hit. It's been fun. So we're in the restoration business. I started restoring tractors back in the early 2000s, and I was working as an engineer and kind of on the corporate path. But in 2002, my position was eliminated, and I bought another tractor and restored it to sell, and a business was born, I guess. And so we've been doing it ever since, and we've restored over 700 projects, tractors, vehicles, gas pumps, whatever. And so we brought 3 John Deere specimens down with us this time, and so we've got a 1944 B.O. Lindemann crawler, and we have the first 3020 utility built. That's a 1964, and then we have a 1960 John Deere 840. I don't have the scraper attachment. That was a little too big for the trailer. All of these tractors ran, sort of. This one died right before we loaded it, so I ended up winching it onto the trailer. The 3020 was actually not running, but it would run, so we had to put new fuel in it and batteries and stuff to get us started. And the 840 did run. Batteries were bad and the wiring was all messed up, so we kind of jump-started it so I could get it up onto the trailer to bring it home. But they were used and abused tractors. They spent their life working, and so we took them down to nothing and brought them back to life, and now obviously they're like new or better than new. We're a little different than 2 guys in a shed working on tractors. I have about 20 employees, and so we have a production process that we follow. So we have different people that specialize in different things, and including a full-time parts guy, and all he does is buy parts for the stuff that we're working on in the shop. So we make a weekly Steiner order, typically of at least $1,000, and buy a lot of stuff from Steiner to use on all the brands of tractors that we work on, and we work on everything. So it's nice to have that catalog, and each of our mechanics actually has one at their workstation that they kind of go through, and that helps them pick stuff out what they need when they're working on a project. And I started doing that early. That catalog's a great reference, and a lot of times I'll just thumb through it and just look at all the parts for whatever it is that I'm working on and go, oh yeah, I probably need one of those too, because a lot of times there's reminders, when you look at a picture or see what's offered. So that's a great resource for us, actually. It's something we use on a daily basis. Growing up, I didn't grow up on a farm. I actually grew up in the city, so I took pictures of the rollers and street sweepers and front end loaders and stuff like that, and we had farming relatives. But so it's cool to have a really early specimen of John Deere's construction stuff, and then when they really got into building scrapers and stuff. So those 2 are cool, and I'm always intrigued by first serial numbers of things and stuff. So the 3020 utility being the first utility off the line is cool. But we have some really unique stuff. We have one of the, if not the oldest, Avery tractor on the planet that we're working on right now from 1912, and we've got a Minneapolis Moline Universal there, and we have a Renault tractor that has these crazy track things on it that we're getting running for a guy, and those are really interesting. But I also am always really intrigued by the John Deere A that Grandpa bought new and is still part of the family, and those kinds of things. So we kind of get the whole gamut of just a variety of different things, and even a common tractor like a Farmall H or a John Deere B or something is intriguing because of the story behind it, and every one of them has a really special story, and we really get excited about knowing that history and trying to preserve that for whoever owns the tractor.